Okay, the next section in Chapter 7, or another section, is transfer. Transfer is the extent to which knowledge and skills acquired in one situation affect a person's learning or performance in a subsequent situation. Prior learning helps learning or performance in another situation, bottom line. Now, sometimes there's a positive transfer and sometimes there's a negative transfer. So the transfer is the knowledge that's already existing. The positive and negative comes into how it's being used, whether effectively or ineffectively. An example of a positive transfer, and let me tell you, a positive transfer is a phenomenon in which something learned at one time facilitates learning or performance at a later time. So an example of a positive transfer would be Hannah using the formula for calculating the area of circles, and then she figures out how many pizzas she's going to need for a party she's having at the house with her friends. She compares how much bigger the 10-inch pizza is than a 7-inch pizza. That would be a positive transfer. She's using the information learned to help solve another problem. All right, an example of a negative transfer, and the negative transfer is a phenomenon in which something learned at one time interferes with learning or performance at a later time. So an example of a negative transfer would be Joey, who's been playing golf for Meadowview Middle School for 2 years. He decides to go out for the school baseball team. But when he does it, he's finding he has trouble hitting the ball because he keeps confusing the swing of the bat with how he swings a golf club. And per my husband, that's a distinctively different hit there, a different swing. So that would be a negative transfer. The fact that he's having issues, maybe been a very good golf player and has a very good swing, that is interfering with him being effective as a baseball player. All right, 3 factors that affect transfer. Students are more likely to transfer what they have learned if they've learned it in a meaningful rather than rote fashion. We've already talked about that in Chapter 6. You know the difference. That makes perfect sense. They have students were more likely to transfer what they have learned if they've learned it in a meaningful rather than rote fashion. I want you to stop the video, text me why students are more likely to transfer with meaningful rather than rote fashion. Text me your answer. All right, number 2, students are more likely to transfer what they've learned if they've studied it for a lengthy period of time. That was part of my frustration with all the standards in the public school system before we went to the Common Core. When we had so many standards, there was so little time to really get a deep understanding of it. And now with the Common Core, that's kind of that whole situation's helped out with the in-depth understanding and the teaching being more in-depth. So research actually says, per Brain Rules, the book Brain Rules, it takes 7 times to do something with material to get it to go to long-term memory. You have to do something with it 7 different times. Now, if you're quickly getting in and quickly getting out, the thing is you may be aware, but have you meaningfully applied the knowledge, and can you then use it to transfer information, how to learn other things? And the third factor is students are more likely to transfer what they've learned if they have learned general principles rather than specific facts. If they get the big idea, the big pictures, that helps them break down the steps, the smaller steps. If they know the formula in math, it doesn't matter what the numbers are. They ought to be able to work it as long as they know the formula. There is a video there on positive and negative transfers I think you're going to enjoy. Don't forget to text me your answer about why meaningful learning helps the transfer more so than rote learning. Enjoy.